We're setting out on a road trip to return Sarah Ann to the place where she was originally built in Tasmania. We have a 2,000 kilometre journey ahead of us.
It rained very heavily and I had a suitcase sitting on the back of the truck and everything got totally soaked. So second night was, just how that came about, I actually booked into a caravan park with a nice cabin, and when I got there they said, no, we've got no record of that. Well, it turned out I'd booked in exactly 1 month ahead, so I wasn't going to wait around for a month, so we went back into a free camping site beside the highway and spent the night sleeping in the boat. Got thoroughly rained upon. Good thing is the boat didn't leak hardly at all. Taking one of the slightly lesser than main roads. We got off the Newell Highway, which was like a roller coaster. It's all been chewed up with a stump muncher, the side road that's taking us through to Dubbo. We started out on the Sunshine Coast and we're about 2/3 of the way down to Tasmania after 3 days driving, and as much as we're going to travel south, because the Sunshine Coast is around about the centre, so if you headed north instead of south you'd have to do the same again to get to the tip of Cape York. Not sure if you can see Sarah Ann just up there, following very closely behind us and behaving herself very well indeed. So the second day we drove on down to Narrabri and we did stay in a nice caravan park there. We did stay in a nice caravan park there, and they had a dryer, so I spent about an hour walking around the caravan park trying to find somebody that had 4 $1 coins, and eventually we managed to get some coins chucked everything in a big industrial clothes dryer and managed to get all Denise's clothes dry again. We're about 1,200 kilometres into our 1,800 kilometre journey from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland all the way down through New South Wales, down through Victoria to Geelong, where the Spirit of Tasmania, a ferry, goes across Bass Strait, which is about, I think it's about 437 kilometres. I have to check that. But it takes you across Bass Strait to Devonport, from where we'll drive from Devonport, a short drive, maybe 45 minutes down to Launceston. No, it's a bit longer than that, an hour. It's a long time since I've been there, to Launceston. And that'll be the end of the journey. So we're 1,200 kilometres in. This is our third stay. The first night we stayed in Esk. It rained very heavily overnight and we got totally drenched. Very difficult for Denise to get up into the boat and out of the boat. It was quite an uncomfortable night in some ways, but it was the first night that we've ever slept in Sarah Ann, and we did do some sleeping, which was good. I've got two mirrors on the car, an extension mirror and the normal mirrors. In the normal mirrors you can't see the boat, but in the extension mirrors you can see the boat. Well, the way the trailer's going, a lot of the time you wouldn't even know there was a trailer on the back. And then sometimes I think, gee, it doesn't feel like I've got a trailer on the back. So I look and the first thing I see is the original mirror and there's no trailer. And it gets me every time. I think, oh, where's the boat? And then I look in the other mirror and I see it's still tagging along behind quite happily. Decided I'm going to make tomorrow a little bit of a shorter stint. We had about 6 hours, which I'm finding turns into 8 hours driving down to Geelong, where we meet the Spirit of Tasmania to go across Bass Strait. But I'm going to cut that back a bit tomorrow, just do a shorter stint. We've got an extra day up our sleeves, and because everything's been going well, we don't need to use that. So I'm going to shorten it back, just maybe do about 4 hours tomorrow and 2 hours the next day. I think that's so funny that we're heading back to the next place after doing a round trip up to Queensland and back without even going for a sail. So we're heading into Cormiston Road, and just a short distance along this road up through the bush is Nick's house, where Jace found Sarah Ann where she'd languished in a shed for 12 years. He hooked her up, towed her up to Queensland, sold her to me, did a little bit of work on her, hooked her up, and towed her back here. And she didn't even go for a sail.
So this is where Sarah Ann's going to stay for a little while, nice and safe and dry while we get settled in our new home.